Have you ever had one of those amazing light bulb moment ideas for an app, but then nothing? The whole process of actually building it just feels like a total black box, right? Well, today, we're going to crack that box wide open. We're going to walk through the entire journey, step by step, to show you exactly how a brilliant concept becomes a real working piece of software. So you've got that $1,000,000 idea. That's awesome. But what's the next step? It's a super common feeling staring across this huge canyon between your concept and a clickable, usable app. But what if I told you there's a clear, structured path to get from here to there? That's exactly what we're mapping out today. All right, here's our game plan. First, we'll nail down the basics. Then, we'll see how you take that idea and make it tangible with a prototype. After that, we'll dive into the actual build, figure out how to power the whole thing, make sure it's top quality, and finally, we'll talk about how finding the right partner can bring it all together. First things first, what even is software development, really? I mean, before you can build a house, you need to understand the blueprint. And it's the same deal here. This is the foundation. And trust me, getting this part right is absolutely crucial, especially if you're not a coder yourself. You know, at its heart, software development is the entire adventure, from that first spark of an idea all the way to a finished product and beyond. But it's not just chaos in code. It's a planned, structured process. It's way more than just programming. It's about really understanding what people need, designing a great experience, building it, testing it like crazy, and then keeping it running smoothly long after it's launched. So where does this whole structured process kick off? You might be surprised to hear it's not with writing a single line of code. It starts with a prototype. This is the magic moment where your abstract idea becomes something real for the very first time, something you can actually see and touch. Prototyping is all about building quick, simple, and incomplete versions of your app. The goal here isn't perfection. It's all about speed and feedback. It lets you get a working model in front of actual users to see what they love and, just as importantly, what they don't. This is a total game changer for apps with a lot of user interaction because you can make sure it feels right before you've spent a fortune building it. And this process is a constant loop. It's a cycle. First, you figure out the most basic requirements. Then, you build a quick version. A lot of times it's just the screens people will see. Next, you get it in front of people for review. And finally, you take all of that amazing feedback and use it to make the next version even better. It's this powerful cycle of build, measure, learn. Okay, so your prototype is a hit. You validated the idea, and you know you're on the right track. Now it's time for the main event, the build. And this is where you're going to face some really important decisions about the right path to take for your specific project. One of the first huge choices you'll make is whether to build from scratch, that's custom software, or buy something that's already made. Custom software is built just for you. It's a perfect fit, you own the code, and it's super flexible for the future. The catch? It costs more upfront. Off-the-shelf software is cheaper to get started with, but it's made for everybody, which means trying to change it to fit your needs can turn into a real headache. It really boils down to, do you want total control or a lower initial cost? Now, building for the web, that's a whole different ballgame. The development cycles are usually way faster. But here's the thing. Your app is out there for the whole world to see, which means security has to be rock solid. Testing is also trickier because you have to make sure every single layer, from the database to the server, all the way to what the user sees on their screen, is working together perfectly. And for mobile apps, you hit another fork in the road. Do you go native or cross-platform? A native app is built specifically for one operating system like iOS or Android. This gives you the absolute best performance and user experience hands down. A cross-platform app is designed to run on both, which is cheaper and gets you out the door faster. So again, it's a classic trade-off. Do you want peak performance or do you want speed and efficiency? An app is so much more than what you see and tap on your screen. So now we're going to head into the engine room, the critical behind-the-scenes infrastructure that actually powers your software and makes sure it's fast, reliable, and ready to grow. When we talk about modern software infrastructure, it really all boils down to 3 pillars you need to know about: cloud computing, DevOps, and systems integration. Let's break down what each of those actually means for your project. First up is cloud computing, and specifically a model called Platform as a Service, or PaaS. The best way to think about it is like renting a fully equipped professional kitchen. You don't have to buy the ovens or worry about the plumbing. You just show up and start cooking. PaaS gives your developers a ready-made environment to build and run your app, so they don't have to stress about managing servers and all that complex stuff underneath. It frees them up to focus on what really matters, building amazing features for you. Of course, there are always trade-offs, right? The huge advantages are simplicity and speed. The platform just handles a ton of the heavy lifting for you automatically. But on the flip side, it can get more expensive if you get really, really big, and you do give up some of the nitty-gritty control you'd have if you built every single thing from the ground up. Next on our list is DevOps. Now, this one's a little different. It's not a tool you can buy. It's more of a philosophy. It's all about bringing software development, that's the dev, and IT operations, the ops, together. The whole point is to break down the walls that usually separate these teams, so you can deliver high-quality software way, way faster. And the difference this makes is it's night and day, seriously. Look at the left, that's the old way. It's a slow, clunky maze of emails and help desk tickets where things get lost all the time. Now look at the right, the DevOps way. It's a smooth, automated pipeline. This completely transforms the process from something slow and fragile into a system that's built for speed and reliability. And finally, we have systems integration. Because, let's be honest, modern apps don't live on an island. They need to talk to other tools, payment systems, marketing platforms, you name it. Integration is the art and science of getting all these different pieces of software to communicate with each other so they work together like a single, well-oiled machine. Okay, the app is built, the engine is running smoothly. We are so close. But before you push that big red launch button, there's one more absolutely critical step: ensuring quality. This isn't just about a last-minute polish. It's about making dead certain your app is stable, secure, and ready for your users. And this is where quality assurance, or QA, comes in. And I want to be really clear here. This is so much more than just bug hunting. Think of QA as a deep investigative process. Its job is to give an independent, honest look at any risks and to verify that the software does every single thing it was promised to do in the first place. And testing happens in layers. You build quality from the ground up. First, you have unit testing, which checks that the smallest individual pieces of code work correctly all by themselves. Next up is integration testing, which makes sure all those different pieces work correctly together. And finally, there's system testing, which looks at the entire application to make sure the whole thing functions as one cohesive system. So, wow, we've covered a ton of pretty specialized ground here, from prototyping to DevOps to all these layers of testing. And that probably raises a very practical question. How on earth are you supposed to get all of this done without hiring an entire army of experts? Well, for a lot of people, the answer is outsourcing. So why outsource? The benefits are huge. First, the cost savings can be massive since you don't have to hire a big in-house team. It also makes you way more efficient because you get to focus on your business while the experts handle the development. You get instant access to a global pool of amazing, specialized talent. And maybe most importantly, you get scalability, the power to ramp your team up or down whenever you need to. And there you have it. We have walked the entire path. From that first little spark of an idea to a fully built, tested, and powerful application. Your idea, that's the blueprint. And everything we've talked about today, these are the tools and the team you need to bring that blueprint to life. So the only question left is, what will you build?